Hi everyone. Last week we studied line. This week we're going to move on and talk about tone. First we'll talk about value and tone. What is it and what can we do with it? Then we'll talk about some drawing methods, hatching, stippling, ways to create tone. And finally, we'll talk about tone and form, how you use shading and depict light in order to create the form of the object. So value or tone, those are two very similar terms, is the lightness or the darkness of a color or hue. Now in this class specifically, we are only covering black and white, drawing and sketching. But just so you know, value is actually independent of hue. All right, so on the left, you've got a picture here of a value drawing or a tone drawing, and it's in black and white. But on the right here, we have the same picture. It's a hue, it's a purple hue or a purple color, but it is also a value drawing. You can see that it's got different levels of darkness and light. So values, as we said, depict the lightness or the darkness of the objects, but they help to describe the effect of light on those objects and clarify their arrangement in space. Why do we use value in our drawings? There are some visual qualities that are hard to or can't be fully described by line alone. And so we use value to accentuate the shape and model a form's surface conditions. We use it to convey light, mass, and space, and to create a tactile sensation, which we call texture in our drawing. You can define a value scale with gradations that move from light to dark. You can step your value scale. Here's a stepped scale right here, an example. Or you can do a smooth gradation, as in this example. Value can be created with different media, pens, pencils, and different patterns. You can see here a couple of different examples of patterns. So if value is the range of lightness and darkness, pattern then can be defined as the arrangement of different forms to create an orderly whole. And value and pattern together can be used to create some visual variety and some contrast. And later we'll see it used to create texture. So here's an example here. Value is kind of moving from left to right in this grid arrangement. We've got light value on the left and kind of darker value on the right. Pattern, on the other hand, are the individual shapes used to create that value. And so each line of this illustration is showing a different pattern. Tonal range, or also called value range, is the range of tones or values in a particular image or a particular artwork, from the lightest to the darkest. So some images are going to have a tight range. This one up here at the top only has from like medium to light. It's not including any dark values, and therefore it's got a reduced or a tight range of values. This one in the middle here has a broad range. It's got both the dark and the light values. The one on the bottom, interestingly enough, also has a broad range, but it's a high contrast image, so it's missing kind of the middle values. It's got the darks, it's got the lights, it's missing the ones in the middle. Okay, so the relative proportion between lights and darks will define the dominant tonal value of a drawing. All right, in this video, we covered the value or tone of a drawing. What is it? The value scale and the value range within a drawing. In the next video, we'll cover methods for making these values, patterns, hatching, stippling. Thanks, everyone.